The Apostle Paul told the Romans that he was not ashamed of the gospel because it was the power of God for salvation. And he also said that he was personally set apart for the gospel. Given that combination of the gospel's power and Paul's personal calling, it's no wonder that when gospel integrity was compromised, Paul held nothing back. Consider what he wrote to the Galatians. He said, "I'm amazed how quickly you are deserting the one who called you by the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel, which is not even a gospel. Evidently, some are troubling you and trying to distort the gospel of Christ." And he says that even if an angel from heaven should preach a gospel contrary to the one preached to you, let him be under a curse. As we've said before, so now I say again, if any of you is preaching a gospel contrary to the one you received, let him be under a curse. If the gospel wasn't quite understood when Paul was alive, if the gospel was misaligned, if the gospel was confused, whether purposefully or accidentally, no wonder some of us are still not getting the gospel right today. In fact, I looked at two books that were in my library, both written pretty close to one another, both given the same title, Getting the Gospel Right. Getting the Gospel Right. So now it's something that's on the mind of theologians and Christians, and these two books, by the way, are written by men who come from different theological perspectives. There may not be a more important question than what is the gospel? And that's the question we're going to take up in our first ever class at GraceLife University. What is the gospel? What is salvation? If you've ever had those kind of questions, or if you've perhaps even doubted your own salvation, or wondered what the relationship between faith and works was, or wondered why is it that some people who profess to be Christians don't act like it, or maybe an even better question, why is it that I, yourself included, myself included, sometimes don't act like a believer, don't act like one who is devoted to Christ, follows Christ, loves Christ. We'll take up those sorts of questions in this first class. We'll take up fun questions like, what about James 2? Doesn't the Bible say even the demons believe? Why do other parts of the Bible say that you must believe the gospel to be saved? All those sorts of questions we'll take up first class, GraceLife University. If you're interested in a simple question like, what must I do to be saved? Or more advanced questions like, what's the difference between justification and sanctification and glorification? I think this class will be one that you enjoy. Hope to see you at our first class of GraceLife University. What is the gospel?